Well, gentlemen, John Stauber, let me begin with you. The Times spent 2 years investigating this story. They ultimately had to sue to get documents out of the Pentagon. In your view, what is the essence of the story? What does it say that the Pentagon did?
Well, Judy, first of all, congratulations to the NewsHour for doing this report, and it's a shame on the networks who were duped this way that they didn't show up to defend or explain their actions. What happened here was a PSYOPs campaign, an incredible government propaganda campaign whereby Donald Rumsfeld and Tory Clark, the head of public relations for the Pentagon, designed a program to recruit at least 75 former military officers. As your report said, most of them now lobbyists or consultants to military contractors, and insert them beginning in 2002, before the attack on Iraq was even launched, into the major networks to manage the messages, to be surrogates, and that's the words that are actually used, message multipliers for the Secretary of Defense and for the Pentagon. And this program continues right up to now.
And is the essence of this that what they did was what the Pentagon did was illegal?
Yes, what they did was illegal. Now, the Pentagon might contest that, but we've had various laws on the books in our country going back to the 1920s. It is illegal for the U.S. government to propagandize citizens in this way. In my opinion, this war could have never been sold if it were not for this sophisticated propaganda campaign. And what we need is congressional investigation of not just this Pentagon military analyst program, but all the rest of the deception and propaganda that came out of the Bush administration and out of the Pentagon that allowed them to sell and manage this war. This is an instant where these people were recruited by Secretary of Defense Rumsfeld as agents of Pentagon propaganda and inserted into the networks. Now, you can fault, and we should fault, the networks for not vetting these people properly, for not being much more careful about their credentials. But the fact is, this program began with the Pentagon, with the Bush administration, recruiting these people to be their surrogates. And those are the words that the internal documents use. This is the Pentagon Papers of this war.
Yeah.
The flow wasn't from journalists knocking on the door of the Pentagon and saying, "Excuse me, Admiral, I'd like to ask a question. First question, are you retired and do you work for military contractors?" That's totally fine. The flow was illegal government propaganda, recruiting these people and inserting them into the news, and then hiring a company to measure and quantify how good a job they did of selling the war and managing press and public opinion.
John